Autobots, transform!
Hello everybody, welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan. Today I'm doing another Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy toy review. Today this is Deluxe Class Sideswipe, as you probably already know. Here he is in the window packaging, same package, same box. You've seen it, I've seen it, I've reviewed it. Check it out, this is the back of the box. This is him in his Cybertronian Lambar mode or futuristic type thing or whatever, the product shot. Other toys available in the line. He is number 7 in this wave. Side of the panel, front of the box, and I am going to get Sideswipe open. The weird thing is, they gave him like this cream white instead of a white. Does that bother anybody else? When I first saw it, I was like, oh man, why they do that? Like, seriously, why did they do that? So, get this guy open and take a look at him. Here is Sideswipe. There's a giant instruction in the back of the box. Sideswipe in front of me. So pull him out his half a clam packaging, pull his gun out, missile launcher slash gun, I don't know, looks kind of weird. And here is Sideswipe outside of his packaging. His face looks so G1. The hood's kind of in front of it, but it looks so G1. I mean, it looks amazing. I love it. So let's have a look at Sideswipe, shall we? He has the painted on Autobot symbol. He has some little silver to represent the headlights. Some silver at his waist. A little bit of a wash over his waist down here. And a little bit of weathering wash down here on his legs. They didn't have to do that. I don't know why they did. I said in other reviews, say it again. And not much paint going on with this guy, unless this is a paint over the red plastic. Kind of looks like paint on top of the plastic. So anyway, we're going to go back to his head and see if it's a 360s. He can look up pretty good. Not much down, looking into his chest. We can take his arms and get him out this far. We can rotate it on 360 on that hinge, get it out this far. It rotates at the upper bicep. You can see like the little arm port there. Bends at the elbow and the hand tucks away, most likely due to transformation. Oh, actually it's not fitting in there. Well, I guess it might just fold down, but it folds down. That's all it does. No rotation at the wrist. Coming to his waist, he has waist articulation. We can get this guy in a seated position if you so chose to. They don't have vehicles for vehicles in this line. Get his legs out to the side that far. Pretty much the same standard articulation for all of these guys. Same joints unless there's a backpack hindering the motion. He has no thigh cut like Hound. You can get his knee up this high. And you just, I guess you just rotate it at the hip to get that motion out of there. And coming to his foot, he has a little bit of a rocker in there. It's probably due to some type of transformation. But you can do it. See if we can get him in a wider stance and keep his feet down. Yep. Get him in a wider stance and keep his feet on the ground. And I didn't mention that I put it in some of the photos of the other videos, but these guys can balance themselves on one leg very easily. They're very balanced toys, and I think these toys are well made. I heard some people say they're kind of crap, but they're well made. Even if you don't like the design and the look of these guys, they're pretty solid. They really are. And as I say that, I see the hollow out part right here and a lot of hollowing in there, but it's covered up pretty well. But again, these guys are really solid. And you could take his launcher slash gun, looks like the vintage launcher, and get it in his hand. And now he has a gun, and then like this comes loose. I saw it comes loose. You put this in the hand, in his other hand, and he can have 2 guns. But this thing looks a little weak to me. It could have been a little bit better. I don't know. It looks a little weak. And you can port it in other places. He can have it here, but it doesn't look like he can mount it. Oh yes he can. Yes he can. I see it. He can mount it on his shoulder just like the G1. It's not a peg, it's like a slot. Okay, so now to get Sideswipe transform, I'm going to remove shoulder cannon blaster thing and take his hands, fold them down. And I don't never start where like you're probably supposed to start. I just know what I see and what I think it does. You know the legs are hollowed out, so I assume the feet collapse into those. Like so. Pop the hood up. Face goes in there. think that's correct. Unfold these little panels here. And we tuck away the arms. Let's see. Same thing on this side. I think it's correct. Fold over the legs. Oh, 360 the waist. Wait a minute. Fold over the legs, and I'm pretty much done. Simple but clever transformation at the same time. It works for me. I got it tabbed in. Got to get this little tab. Like, it's not sticking in there quite right. Seems like it could be in there a little bit better, but I guess that's pretty much it. Quick, easy, painless, and he is this Cybertronian Lamborghini type thing, which is sweet because it's still Sideswipe. It still looks futuristic or space age or Cybertronian. Let's get him down, see how well he rolls. He rolls pretty decent. Looks pretty good. I'm sure I got it all in. And I guess you can see his face. I don't know if I was supposed to swivel his head around. I don't know. See if I can back it up a little bit and turn his head. If I can. If it'll work. Turn his head around. So that's a little bit better. Now you can't see his face. Still see his head, but you can't see his face. That's what I meant to say in the first place. Can't see his face. Oh man, and he is just killing. Sideswipe was one of my favorite G1 cars. Absolute favorite. I love the red. I love the design, and I really love it here. Only problem and gripe I have is why is this piece of plastic here on this hinge not red? Why is it black? And I totally don't get that because it's not really something you can see in robot mode to where it needs to be black. It's just like a flaw they put in it or something, you know, something they do and then turn around and make the Takara version and then it's all red and then have you chasing the Takara version. I mean, I don't know that they're going to do that, but that's something that they tend to do. So yeah, and then he has his little ports all over his body. Well, not all over. He has one here, one in the roof, and one over here. So we have, what, 3? I have the ones underneath, but 3 in car mode, and he has this little thing here. I guess you could plug a guy, some type of guy on there, but anyway, you can take the weapon, plug it in here, plug it in here, and you get it. I mean, I really like this car mode. It kind of puts you in the ideal of not. You remember the TV show in the 80s, Automan, and his cursor would make him a car. This is kind of what it puts me in the mind of with this little sleek windshield type design. It even has like some little techie pattern in there. That is really awesome what they did here. So here Sideswipe is next to Voyager class Optimus Prime. And in this mode, it doesn't seem to be a class difference. But anyway, and you might be wondering why I have them side by side with Optimus Prime. Is because in Optimus Prime's toy review, I missed these little tabs, and I have a chance to make amends for it. All the viewers told me you just flip these up, and it reveals a port where someday we could possibly get a trailer, or maybe a third party can give us a trailer, and he might actually be able to haul it. So that is why the size comparison in this mode here. Okay, so here's Sideswipe back in his robot mode, and I am going to bring out Cog, and you probably know why. When I did the Cog review on the back of Cog's packaging and in Cog's instruction, it showed that he can disassemble and weaponize Sideswipe. And I was saving it for the Sideswipe review because I wanted to see what all he could actually do. And a lot of people commented and spoiled it for me. This guy can connect to everybody. And because he was on the back of the box in the instructions, I assume he can only connect to him. So it was spoiled for me. You know, I like to save stuff for me because I'm not just reviewing this. This is my first chance checking it out, playing with the toy. So anyway, we're going to kill the little one and pull him apart to get into the weaponized mode. And again, I did not look at the instructions. So when you see my reviews and see things that aren't right, it's because I don't look at the instructions. I don't want to. I want to learn stuff as I go. I looked at the box, peeked at the box. I know these little things fold down and become like giant boots. So let me get this under him. They peg right into the bottom. And like I said, from what I understand, you can do this type of weaponization with all the figures with this guy. And you peg this on a little hole in his back, add that. Okay, let's try it again. Add that. Take these little cannons here, and these go over shoulder, I believe. I'll turn it around like that and connect here. If I can get it all in camera. Here, and take this one just goes on the other side. And then from what I've seen on the box, it's nothing like grand and glorious about it. And I don't know if they're going to have a cartoon for this, or if there is a cartoon for this. I'd like to see what really makes this stuff work. And you can pull that out here. I don't know if these fold away. I think on the box it's just plugged into his arm, I believe. Look at the box again. Probably should look at the instructions since I'm trying to show you, but I mean, I just can't do it. And he can take this guy's guns, or on the box he actually has his guns. And this is Sideswipe. I don't even know what they call it. Power mastered up, sieged, all sieged up. I don't know. So he has on like the little RoboCop bottoms, or more like Ripley and Aliens, with all this little stuff on, and it holds on tight. It looks pretty good. You can also like fold this guy up and I think make him like into a shield or something. And now it's like a shield. And put it on this arm. So it probably, like I said, you could do all the figures with it, and I'm not going to go through and do all the figures. But I do want to bring out Hound, because in his review, I mentioned how the gun kind of sucked. I missed out on this thing. I thought this was like a spare tire, but they said it was like a gun clip with extra rounds in it, and you can tab it into the side of the gun here. Tab it into the side of the gun here. And like, again, all this stuff tabs everywhere. Every weapon can connect to another weapon, or you can put it at the reverse of the gun here and put it right there and make it look like that. And everything you can do to it actually makes it look better than when I first saw it, and kind of kills the comment that I made. You know, I kind of jumped the gun on this thing, and I did not know this line did all of that. You know, I was just buying it because of the G1 nostalgia and the look. I was just happy, like, hey, looks like G1 Hound, looks like G1 Sideswipe. But anyway, okay, so I got this guy powered down, or weapon down, I should say. Only thing I don't like about this guy is the choice of the color of the smaller handgun part. I think they should have went with silver, because he already has this red going on. Would have broke it up a little bit, make it look a little bit, make more sense like this, because it looks like he's carrying the missile tip pretty much. And I didn't like the little tabs, like these little things right here that really stick out in the car mode, that are black, and they would have blended in very well if they had just made them red plastic or whatever, or even painted them in this mode. But other than that, I really like it. I like him almost as much as I like Hound. And when I decided to get some of these figures from this line, I only had intentions of getting Sideswipe and Hound. So anything else that I have is pretty much a bonus for me. And I'm starting to like the line more and more, with the exception of Megatron. I know I said it a couple times, but Megatron was just alright. It hasn't grown on me yet. I've actually played with it several times. Me and my son got it in the floor and went at it. And Megatron still hasn't grown on me. Yeah, so I really can't recommend this figure enough. If you've been in on these figures since Combiner Wars on to Titan's Return and Power of the Prime and Siege, he's one of the ones I think you got to pick up. Really do. So you've just watched a review where every toy has a story with George, the 80s Transformers fan.
Autobots, transform!